Good morning, my dear students. This is the new topic. Today we are discussing about the disinfection of the water and why disinfection is required in the water treatment process. Now, first of all, I am going to describe today's content about the presentation. That what are the contents present in this? That is the disinfection techniques, that is ozonation, UV radiation, chemistry of chlorination, chlorine demand curve, the types of chlorination, application of chlorine, etc. And first of all, you have to understand that what is disinfection. Disinfection means is the killing of microorganisms or the pathogenic microorganisms which create diseases or the waterborne diseases in the for the human beings, and therefore it is the primary responsibility for the public health engineer to disinfect water before the water supply to the consumers. And what is the difference between the disinfection and the sterilization? It generally a question arises that the disinfection in the process of disinfection only the harmful or the pathogenic bacteria or microorganisms are killed, but in the sterilization the complete destruction of the microorganisms takes place. That is, whether it is harmful or non-harmful, but not a single microorganism is present in the process of the in this sterilization. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the sterilization and in the disinfection. So some major waterborne diseases prevented by the disinfection, and that is when the bacteria are present, these are the following diseases can occur by the waterborne. If viruses are present, these are the diseases. Some protozoas are present, these are diseases. That is, if the bacteria causing microorganism, that is typhoid fever, paratyphoid, bacterial diarrhea, cholera. If the viruses are present in microorganisms, then the hepatitis A, B, etc., rotavirus, diarrhea. If the protozoas are present, that amoebiasis, gardarrheniasis, cryptosporidiasis, etc. So these are the waterborne diseases can occur to the consumers or to the society if the water is not disinfected properly. And hence this is the overview of the process, that the purpose of the disinfecting drinking water is to destroy organisms that cause diseases in the human being. That is, just now I have said that is the purpose of disinfecting drinking water is to destroy organisms that cause diseases in the human beings. Most pathogenic bacteria are removed from water in varying degrees during the different treatment processes. Means while the processes takes place in the water treatment processes, most pathogenic bacteria are removed from the water in the varying degrees during the process. Means which processes? That is in the process of coagulation, in the process of sedimentation, or in the process of the filtration. And the remaining microorganisms which is left in these processes are finally disinfected in the process of disinfection. Disinfection is used to ensure satisfactory removal of pathogens from the potable water. Means it is a satisfaction given to us or to the public health engineer that all the pathogens or all the pathogenic microorganisms are killed from the potable water which is going to supply for the consumers. And hence generally disinfectant, that is the chemical which is added for the process of disinfections, is used in the form of various chemicals, that is either maybe chlorine, potassium permanganate, or various other methods which we are going to see in this process. So it gives our satisfaction that the removal of pathogens takes place from the potable water and it is fit for drinking. So which type of disinfectant should be used? So this slide shows you the suitability of disinfection, that which disinfectant we have to select while the process of the disinfection. So first point, that the disinfectant shall be effective in killing the microorganism. Basic point, that disinfectant shall be effective in killing the microorganism. It should be cheap and readily available in the market. It should be safe to handle and easy to apply. It should not make water toxic in nature. It should not have any ability to persist in residual state. Means these are the basic suitability of disinfectant. First, that it should effective in killing microorganisms. Second, it should be cheap and readily available in the market. It should not create any it should be safe to handle, and it should not create any nuisance to the person handling to it, and it should be easy to apply. It should not be make water toxic if it is applied to the water in nature, and it should have ability to persist. Means it should be present in the residual condition, so that if the water, if any contamination occurs in the distribution process, so it can kill that contamination. Therefore it should persist, it should remain in the residual state. So what are the disinfection methods? First, boiling. Second, high pH, that is excess lime, that is means the excess high pH. Silver treatment, potassium permanganate, chlorination, ozonation, UV irradiation, and other halogens we are used, that is iodine or bromine. So these are the basic methodologies we are adopted for the disinfection process. So that is the 8 methods, that is boiling of water, high pH, that is maintaining the high pH of water, silver treatment, potassium permanganate, chlorination, ozonation, UV irradiation, and other halogens. So we will see one by one their kinetics of the disinfections. So number 1, that is the boiling, that water shall be boiled at least for 3 minutes, and it is the most effective methodology, and it can kill bacteria and viruses, and cannot be used for large scale, but it can be used during the epidemics if it used in the domestic scale. Therefore, because it should be water should be boiled for at least 3 minutes, it is the most effective method. It can kill all the bacteria and viruses present in it, but it cannot be used on a larger scale, because if the water we are treating in 100 mld, 200 mld, 150 mld the size of the plant, and therefore that capacity of the million liters of water to boil, and it requires high energy and high boilers to boil that water, and therefore that cost of the treatment will be very high. Therefore it should not be used on the larger scale, but it can be used on the domestic scale, and especially during the epidemics or in pandemics it can be used at the domestic scale, but because it is the most effective method for the disinfection of water. Second, use of high pH treatment, that is use of excess lime. If the lime can destruct bacteria at high pH values, means lime can easily destruct the bacteria at high pH values, in this case no residual will remain after neutralization. But studies shows that high removal of viruses was obtained with higher pH values. Means the higher removal of viruses was obtained with the higher pH values. If the optimum pH is in the range of 11.2 to 11.3, optimum contact time in the range of 1.56 to 2.4 hours, means we have to given the optimum time, means optimum pH means we have to maintain the pH about from the 11.2 to 11.3, means is the optimum conditions, means we are getting the best results in this range. And best contact time means for how many durations we have to keep the water with the disinfectant, that is in the range of 1.56 to 2.4 hours, and the complete destructions of the viruses can be obtained at the pH of 11 and contact time of 5 hours and 10 minutes, means the complete destructions of the viruses can be obtained at pH of 11 and contact time of 5 hours. But again it is a lengthy process, time consuming process. It is the main disadvantages associated with this process of using excess lime. Silver treatment. When silver when immersed in the water has an immediate effect on the bacterial life. Means silver can immediately destroy the life of bacteria, but the silver is costly, and this method can be used severely in the small case condition. UV radiation. Now UV can disinfect both water and wastewater. However, its use in drinking water disinfection is limited to small installations such as aboard ships because it does not produce residuals. In wastewater treatment, and when compared to chlorination and ozonation, UV was found more effective and more economical, and UV radiation is gaining more prominence. But you have to understand this, that first that you can disinfect both water and wastewater with the UV, but major disadvantage is that the drinking water disinfection is limited to small installations. Means we have to again that this method is again restricted to these small installations. Means for the generally for the domestic purposes and the small drinking purification installations only, such as board ships, because it does not produce the residual. And in wastewater treatment, and when compared to chlorination, when compared to chlorination and ozonation, UV was found more effective and more economical. But UV radiation is gaining more prominence. Right now we have observed that more households are generally installed their drinking water treatment, that is the small water installation having the facility of UV, and water is passed through that the beams of the UV rays, and then the water get purified. I have the actual photos, that is the water is passed through these UV rays, and then the water can be assumed that it get disinfected. Now ozonations means the use of ozone, that is the general characteristics of ozone, that is it is a powerful oxidant, more powerful than hypochlorous acid, unstable in aqueous solutions. Means it is a highly unstable in aqueous solution, has a half of 20 to 30 minutes in distilled water. Means it is generally half of 20 to 30 minutes in the distilled water, widely used in drinking water treatment, and is produced on site and cannot be used for cannot be stored at this site. Means it is again the method of ozonation is a method of disinfection, but having some advantages and major disadvantages, because it is highly unstable in aqueous solution, but more advantages is it is more powerful than a hypochlorous acid. It is widely used in the drinking water treatment. Again, it is the used in the combination that for the domestic household water treatment installation, like you may have know that the ozone, UV, a general water purifier claim that the water pass through the beams of the ozones and the UV rays and make the water fit for the drinking purposes, and similarly RO water. So these are the methodologies which is generally used at the small scale purposes and for the domestic purposes, and it is produced on the on site and cannot be produced on the stored size. Means we cannot be stored at the site. Again, next methodology, that is the potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate is widely used in the rural areas, used for the purification of open well water supplies, and the that is the KMnO4, that is the potassium permanganate, is dissolved in water and added in the bucket, added that bucket of water in the well water, and water should not be used during first 48 hours after KMnO water, because it should be because that water first changes into the pinkish color, and then that water reacts with the if some impurities are present, and then it settles down, and that original colors comes out, that is the colorless water comes out after the 48 hours. Means it is a major disadvantage is associated with it, that we cannot use that well water for the 48 hours, that is for the 2 days after using that KMNO into the well. So basically, so potassium permanganate is generally used in the rural areas, and it is applied in the open well. And how we have to apply it, that we have to first dissolve in the bucket full of water, and that water dissolved bucket water of KMNO4 is then added into water, thoroughly mixed in the well water, and then water should not be used during first 48 hours, that is for 2 days after the KMNO4 addition, because the water gets pinkish in nature. And after the settlement, and after that color settlement of the color, the water comes out to be the colorless after the 48 hours. So what are the so this is the 7th method, that is the chlorination. Now this is the basic methods which is generally applied in the disinfection methodology. So we have in the 8 processes we have seen that the methodologies of the disinfection in the form of first boiling, second use of high treatment, that is the pH treatment, excess lime, third silver treatment, fourth UV radiation, that UV rays pass through the water, fifth ozone treatment, sixth potassium permanganate. Now only 2 methodologies left, that is the chlorination, that is which are widely used in nature, and use of other halogens, that is iodine and bromine. Now these 2 methods will be covered in the next lecture. So this is the series of disinfection which is we are going to create, and you have to follow each and every lecture religiously. And and I'm going to add one more thing, that a law of disinfection is also present, and that is that law of disinfection is known as the Chick's law of disinfection, and it says that when a single unit of microorganism is exposed to a single unit of disinfectant, then the reduction in microorganisms follows a first order reaction. Means it is the basic law of disinfection given to us by the scientist Chick, and that law is known as the Chick's law of disinfection. You have to get through it, that is. And what that Chick's law is said to us, that when a single unit of microorganism, means a single unit of microorganism is exposed to a single unit of disinfectant, then the reduction in microorganism follows a first order reaction, which is given by the Chick's law, and then this law is called as the Chick's law of disinfection, which is given by the scientist Chicks. So this is the generally a question is asked in the form of MCQ, that which law is applicable for the disinfection, that your answer should be that the Chick's law of the disinfection. So I am restricting today first lecture of disinfection here, and second lecture will be start from the chlorination. So if you have any doubt related to the first part of the disinfection, kindly post your question or queries in the comment box. So right now I am signing off. Okay, thank you for your patience listening.